Welcome to Somos Terapia. Somos Terapia is an integrative therapist directory where you can find different professionals working with mental health, emotional well being, and personal growth, both online and in person across Spain. Today I'm here with Genevieve Smith, who works with energy alignment therapy, structural techniques, and family akashic constellations. Genevieve offers sessions online and in person and works in Spanish, Catalan, English, and French. And in this conversation, we're going to explore emotional blocks, family patterns, and experiences that can be held in the body. And what kind of work can people do with her to get more aligned with themselves? So, Genevieve, I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me as well.
Is there something I missed of how did I presented you? Something you want to tell everyone about your path, about what you offer?
Of course. It's a long story. We all have our own individual life stories, let's say, that bring us towards our learning and our growth in this life. So I knew from a young age that I was able to let's just say see or hear a bit more than what was just happening around me. It probably started off with my grandfather, who died suddenly, and when I was quite young, I was about 8 at the time, and I'd have to later on, when I was 12, go over and actually live in his house where he was dying, where he died. Where he was in the process of dying. He didn't actually die there; he died in hospital in the end. But um, it was a death that wasn't supposed to happen in a way because he was healing from an operation, but they had missed out on putting in the anticoagulant
Mm,
into his system. So he's blood clotted, and he himself, I could sense, here how we're not just the physical, and the mental and the emotional. However, we are the soul. The soul wasn't ready, which is housed in this part of the
mm,
body. And when we do constellation work and healing work, I have to get the clients and people to connect with their souls, because oftentimes we're not connected with the soul. And one of my courses actually that's online at the moment on Udemy on the energy healing and constellation work I do, which has a whole load of videos. So you can go through that course as well if you want to do your own self-healing journey online by yourself, is to connect with this part of the soul. So I sensed he wasn't ready to leave, and all his anger was coming through to me, and I could hear him at night. I could hear things.
mm,
And it wasn't until I decided, because I felt within my own intuition to actually confront him, to actually talk in broad daylight to his spirit that hadn't passed to the other world, let's say, to the light, to tell him that, how much I loved him, how much I still love it, and that we had great times together, and that you did all you could do, and you were suddenly ended, and you have to accept that now. It's once you accept that and walk towards the light, I said to him, I'd be at peace, you'll be at peace, we'll be all at peace. And peace is our happiness as well. And one day we'll all play together. We'll all be there together where you are when it's the right time. And accidents happen in this life, or life can suddenly be taken, right? We need people as well in this life that can help souls transcend and pass towards the next level. There are so many of them out there, and so many people who have died that have had a lot of problems, a lot of issues that were never resolved in their own lifetime. However, through the soul healing work, it's not just about dealing with the dead, although the dead have an awful lot to do with the living,
mm,
because it is through the living they try to heal their unhealed story. Okay. And that affects your descendants. So
mm,
this is where family constellation work was founded. The whole theory comes from Bert Hellinger, who was a German psychotherapist, who saw that in his sessions, as a psychologist, that there was far more to a person than just, going into hypnosis or looking at their emotions, looking at what has just happened to them. Rather, they are linked to their ancestors and what has happened to their mother, their father, their grandparents, or beyond. Okay. And then because of his great work, the creation of this constellation work, we can heal then, past traumas or things that you're carrying that oftentimes you may be even unconscious of. Some people are more conscious of them because they're more awakened souls, they're more connected with their intuition,
Mm.
as well. But a lot of people aren't even conscious, and they're just wondering why they're always angry or sad, or maybe not even conscious that they are always angry and sad
Mm.
until somebody comes into their life, a partner usually. Okay, so in relationships, when we come together with someone in partnership, it's always to heal. They're always going to be a mirror of yourself. They're there to show you what you need to heal. So that's why relationships can be such hard work.
It's such a powerful introduction. And I think
But
this is
I think one thing led to the other
yeah, yeah.
there.
No, no, no. It's so
um,
important, I feel, for people to connect, no, first of with these alternative therapies, because I'm really excited about many people that I have interviewed here, but I'm especially excited today because this is
mhm,
something that not many people have heard of, that many people gonna have resistance to. And I think it's important that they also come in with this openness of what you are sharing,
mhm.
of thank you for sharing something so vulnerable of how now your story began, because it's with a loss and with a gain at the same time, because as you're
Exactly.
saying,
Yeah.
and something that you already had not, you were such a kid when this already was present for you, so it sounds like it's something that you've been carrying, and of course you have then studied and prepared yourself to share that with the world. But it sounds that it's in your being. No, it's not only something I study that
Yeah,
I want to share.
I also like having talked to many people, about these things. I think is that when you open up, when you actually do talk about the unseen or
Mm,
the feelings that we have within. Although a lot of people say, "Oh, that can sound a bit disturbing, a bit
mm,
strange," or even my mom at the time said, "Oh, shut up! I don't want to hear about that." You
mm.
know, um, I knew inside of me that it was right. It felt so right. When something feels so right, that is your downright intuition telling you that it is the truth. And when you believe totally in yourself and in your truth, right, and in your intuition, it's never going to fail. It's never going to let you down.
And this is
Okay.
what this interview is for. Like, if this is already resonating with you, creating some curiosity, we invite you to
Mm-hmm.
stay and listen, and not only listen, to feel. No, to feel
Right.
what
Exactly.
comes up
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah.
I have
And not to
some.
be afraid. Yeah, I think that the big thing, sorry, it just came out there now. So
Yeah.
the big thing is that people, I sense the fear. We all can sense the fear.
Mhm.
Oh, there's that wound, or oh, sugar. Do I have to look at that?
Yeah.
Or yeah, yeah, because it is pain. It
Mm.
is pain coming to surface, but it's just within. But hang on a minute. What you just do is breathe.
Yeah.
Breathing's so important. Just
Right.
accept. Say
Yeah.
yes. Just say yes. I see it.
Mm.
And the minute you say lo
Yeah.
veo,
Yeah.
lo tengo allí, lo sé que existe,
Mm.
I know that that exists, that's the truth, then you are healing right away. You're saying that you see it. Because when you see the pain or the disease or the illness, because we can also treat various health issues
Mm.
with this therapy, as well as beyond that, then we are starting the whole healing process. So it is when you stop saying, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at it.
Awareness.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go watch the football match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go for a swim.
Yeah.
Stop right
Awareness.
there
No,
because,
like, yeah,
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
first
It's not
step.
easy because it's
Mm-mm.
disturbing feeling,
Yeah.
right? Pain. Nobody likes feeling pain,
Mm-mm.
but that's what you have to heal. So when you sense there's something bugging you and you don't like to see, that's where you have to do healing. And that's where I meet a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't come any closer to you. I can't go
Mm.
forward with the session. Or do you really mean it?" I says, "Look, my hands are always open. I'm just a guide, a helper.
Mm.
Okay? Here to for everyone, at the
Uh-huh.
service of everyone, young, old, weak, strong, okay? And I'm at your service. So whenever you feel, whenever you need, here's my contact, and it's up to yourself. The person has to feel ready, you know, and it's on your own time. And then you see people come in and say, thank you so much. Nobody's seen that. Or, wow, I haven't met anyone who I could trust just like that. I says, well, I'm a healer. That's my work.
Yeah, it's the doing with, no? Doing it sometimes I say it in my sessions, is doing with fear, doing with pain, doing it no, we're
Yes.
so much
Let the tears out.
yeah,
Tell us the truth. Just tell the truth
we just
yourself.
need to be ready to do it with. So, I have
Yeah,
some
then you can get
questions
healing. Yeah,
that I
exactly.
think will help people to a bit get now because there's so many things you wanna share and so important things, and I think this is so enriching for people. So, many people here that look at this channel, that look at our that they follow us, they already doing their work, no? They reflect, they reflect on what they're going through, they try to understand themselves, but they keep ending in the same emotional place. So what I wanna ask you is, from your perspective, what is happening there? What's happening when someone has already tried a few things and they're still in that same pattern or with that same reality or with that same feeling.
Yes. Well, that's where it all comes down to, doesn't it? We can all do, like, I started off with yoga, music therapy. I was looking for ways to solve my relationship with men. How could I trust men again? You know, looking at myself, what is the wound, I'm carrying, or I can't really see it. So you look for help, you look for some way forwards. And that's where you go towards, maybe a psychologist, first of all, or some healer. I personally didn't get any answers from the psychologist. So I rooted more. I just met up with people, friends of mine, who said, look, there's a guy who's sharing a room in my flat, and he went to this energy healer, and he's come out really different. He was actually suicidal. He was in a really, 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 really bad way. Very negative. I mean, it's the worst situation you can be in. And somebody recommended him to go to this guy. And I said, well, I'm not that bad, but I would like to do some energy healing work, because I do feel that there's something more than just, talking and the mind and psychology, right?
Mhm.
So I went towards this, what we call structural technique
Yeah.
therapist. He's Jordi Pooch. He's the founder of it. He's a Catalan man. He trains people all over the world today in more than 16 countries. I'm one of his firstly trained therapists. We have a huge platform on the internet, a website. There are thousands of therapists that do the structural technique now. I've had various talks here in my town, promote therapy, and it is the one technique I always apply with everyone, every client I have ever had or will ever have. It's a complete energy cleanse and realignment. And it's amazing. It gets all those stuck emotions shifted. People come in saying, oh, I've got heartbreak, I'm really black, I'm really down, I just can't shrug it off. After 2 years, 3 years, I can't get rid of this guy, can't move on in my life, I'm just not happy with any work, or I'm always depressed, or whatever it is, that
Mm.
emotional, right, repeated pattern that keeps you there and doesn't allow you to go. It just doesn't clear up. In fact, it might even grow and get bigger
Mhm.
and heavier. You really need to have it looked at in energy healing. Okay, it's not talking about it is not going to heal it. Okay, so this comes to a very high level. The energy healing work has to be done extremely well. It has to be done in the right way. It's nothing to do with listening to Tibetan bowls. I'm sorry. or going to someone who says, well, just do an energetic cleanse. Hmm. It's beyond the energetic cleanse of sage or
Mm,
Palo Santo.
mm,
Okay, so what we do in the structural technique is we work with the angels of God. We work at the highest level. We've light codes embedded in us in our training. And we go through a very strict protocol of over 100 energies that you could be carrying that could be blocking you. Because one thing that you might be feeling that could be blocking you might actually be, the cause could be something completely different.
mm,
So we go into all of that, and that's also linked to your family system and your past lives. So we haven't lived one life, believe it or not, guys. We won't be living one life either. I think all of us are going to be ascending that quickly. We have proof from Bert Hellinger's constellation work and studies, and of many others who are out there in the field years now, because his theory is around over 30 years. You can imagine how advanced it must be at this stage, that those regression therapists, like Dolores Cannon, for example, she's all over the internet, or that we had past lives and they are affecting our present lives. And certain entrapments, traumas, let's say, unforeseen deaths or things that happen to us with partners, especially. Okay, that's why we have karmic partners in this life, are from other lives, from past lives. Who took what from who did what to who. If it isn't resolved, if it wasn't resolved, let's say, in the past, in your past life, it is carried into this life. You are reborn to heal. As you heal, as your soul becomes more and more healed, it ascends more and it gets closer up to ascension, to going towards heaven. And that is actually your true path. Now, you might say this sounds all very Catholic or religious. It's actually fact. It's just plain fact of this soul. It's how souls work. I mean, it's the study of the soul. And there's loads of books and courses and everything on it. I mean, it's becoming more and more apparent as people realize that we move beyond the basic techniques of, towards the energy healing. There's so many more therapists now, looking at this. There's so many more constellators out there. Every day I'm on the constellation page and I see, wow, there's a whole lot of people doing constellation work. Not everyone does what I do, or what a few others do as well, is we don't just do the family systematic constellation work, which is looking at all the energies that you're carrying that could be blocking you, relating to your mom, dad, and the past and
mm,
ancestors and so on. I'm a Akashic constellator. What is Akashic? Akashic comes to the Akashic records. It's to do with your soul, the history of your soul, your
wow.
past lives. So instead of going for, let's say, a past life regression, to go into a hypnotic state and realize and actually relive
Mm,
the trauma or what happened to you or how your body was mutilated or whatever. It's absolutely awful, because the things that happened in the past were vicious and were, it was like that. We're ascending as a
mm,
humanity, as a human race. So that's what God's will is. So, and that's what we're going to get. And that's where we're going. There's going to be more and more healing. There's going to be more and more people wanting to clear up themselves and ascend, because you're going to be left behind and just die a horrible death if you don't ascend, basically. So we're awakening, because we feel it. We feel that we're under this impulse now of, clearing up what we need to clear up. And it's good to do that, because you're creating good karma. We have to fix our bad karma.
mm,
Okay. Bad things happen to us, or things are not working for us because of our karma. Okay. Once we resolve that, and it's only resolved through the energetic world, looking at your Akashic records, which I do, I get all the downloads of information on the client as I'm connected and channeling the whole time for that person or whoever it may be, or for humanity. I also do cleanses for all men and women, and other negative energies for all humans, because I want us all to live in a better world.
mm.
So, in the correct way. This is nothing to do with magic or
Yes.
witchcraft. This is working with the angels of God, and cleansing, using them as the cleansing healers through me, basically. And yeah, so it's fascinating.
It
And I
is.
was really, I didn't know a thing about it all, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, at the beginning. And I just learned as I went along, and I saw the changes. I saw that lady coming in with dark energies, with sadness, a lot of
Mm,
depression, with the heartbreak. And after a year of, just doing 3 or 4 sessions with me, she found the love of her life, and she's happily married now, and she's able
mm,
to wear beautifully lovely colored clothes, and she's not wearing the dark clothes that she was always wearing. She couldn't wear another color,
mm,
for example. That means something too.
mm.
Okay, so yes, it's a sensitive topic. It is. We go
Yeah.
right down there to healing everything.
Yeah. What I get from what
Yeah,
I'm hearing
and
is
beyond.
no, from the question is that you go beyond, no?
Yeah,
Beyond,
you have to.
yeah, beyond of what I can see in other therapies
Well,
in
it's what
your
you're
point of view. I
carrying.
think
It's
this is really important because it's part of the values of Soulhealing-TwilightSmyth. Is like I really like this integrative work, no? And that for someone psychology, no, can help that, but that for someone this type of healing can help. I think there's so many ways. We just need to find our path. I think that's really important. And but you're talking about going beyond of seeing things that not many people can see,
to
of
get there.
going
Yeah,
into no, you're talking about soul, you're talking about the past, you're
yeah.
talking about this
The most
change, these
profound.
heavy
Yeah.
things we're carrying that are
Mm-hmm.
invisible, but at the same time so present in our lives. So
Mm. Yes,
it
yes, yes, yes,
sounds
indeed.
really powerful. So let's see to go. Okay. What I think something really important would be
Mm-hmm.
for people to understand how does a session look with you? Like for them to just
Yes,
like,
it's very
okay,
simple.
yeah, what happened?
It sounds so. Yeah, it sounds so profound. What I do, so
Yeah.
complicated. You think that you're probably going to be ripped apart, right? No, it's totally the opposite. In fact, I don't even need to see you. Okay, so this is beyond belief. But yeah, it works like that. When you understand that it's just the one energy,
Mm,
you access that energy of that person. So I, as one of God's healers and angels on this earth, I access with your permission that you want to be healed, your energy field, your Akashic records, your history. And I go through my protocol like a pendulum. I can see back here. I don't need to use a pendulum.
yeah.
I am a
Okay. Yeah.
pendulum. I am a channel. I connect with it, and I get connected and I get a yes or I get a no. Does she carry this? Does she carry that?
Mm,
What do I need to cleanse? What needs to be removed? What needs to be corrected energetically? Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Okay, so you go through what we call the structural technique, which is the realignment energetically of all those energies that are weighing you down. Straight away,
mm,
they come up. Oh, she's carrying anger, or she's carrying a betrayal, a grief. There's
mm,
been miscarriages. So I heal the energies around that.
mm,
Extremely important, the miscarriages.
mm,
Any deaths, so it's going through your entire energetic field. Your spinal column is also realigned energetically when we do this technique. That's the first part of the technique, in fact. And the complete realignment of the Chinese meridians without touching your body. Now, if you want to come for a physical session, we can test the points in your body, as
mm,
we're showing in our training course, and we can attend people in a physical sense. But you will be lying there for the
mm,
second part of the session where I, using my hands, I realign you energetically, your spine, and then look at, I test. I'd be just there testing through the protocol, what's she carrying, what needs to be removed, what needs to be cleansed, and what needs to be newly integrated.
mm,
It's very efficient,
mm,
extremely efficient. It's very fast. It's an hour. After that 1 hour, you notice changes straight away.
mm,
The next day, you might have a headache. Your body might be feeling very tired,
mm,
but you're letting go of all that you're
mm,
carrying. One girl, actually, I remember one lady, she had a lot of dark energies. She came out with a whole load of pimples and spots on her skin. And
Yeah,
she sent a photo to me next day. I says, "Oh, that's wonderful. That's it leaving now,
right.
what you were carrying." So then I can test to see how many more sessions you would need.
Mm,
We as therapists have learned from the studies of this that we need about 4 sessions
mm,
within the space of 6 months or so,
mm,
or a year, depending on the body. Some people with the one session so much shifts that you have to wait for another month before you can do another
mm.
session. It
Okay.
can be done online, anywhere. As I said, I don't need to see you. I just need your permission and
Mm,
I work on you. Payment, of course. And yeah, so you can be on holidays, you can be cycling your bike and say, "Oh, what if I notice something when I'm
yes.
cycling or anything?" It's beyond that. It's not going to affect you physically. I mean, afterwards, you might feel really sleepy or tired, but
Mm,
you're not going to cry during the process. It's not that kind of a release.
mm,
Okay. We're working on your cells.
mm.
It's on a quantum, it's quantum medicine,
Yeah.
quantum field, quantum energy. And we're working on reprogramming those cells, removing those energies through the angels of God, actually go into your body and do the work for
Mm.
you. Okay, so we channel with them. So they're the real healers here, but we are also the healers on the 3D dimension here on Earth.
Ah, this is so
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah,
Now to
it
hear
is.
how.
And yeah, I mean, I didn't know much about it. I just went for the healing myself. As I said,
Yeah.
I wanted to sort myself out. I was
Oh.
very angry. I'd left my own country. I
Mm,
couldn't return. I was going through divorce. I had debts to pay. I was feeling really black in a big black hole, let's say, on my own with a young baby, abandoned, left. Okay. So I know what it is to be in real shit. Okay. So it was when I was in a complete black hole that I had to look for something more than, just talking about my problems. And that sorted me out. It saved my ass, basically, that therapy. And from then onwards, because I noticed so many shifts and I got back into being in my power, I got back to sorting out. Money suddenly came into me. My relationships with everyone started
mm.
working. My success and everything started happening. I have my own business. Everything started growing. Usually, I says, I have to train in this. This
It
really
called
works
you,
and this
right?
really helps
Yeah.
people. So here I am.
No, I think something really important for people to a big question
Yeah.
that I know you get enough, but
Mm.
it's like, how do people know who to trust with in this area? Because you hear a lot of things in everything.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
what would be the points that you would say? Of course, here they're seeing you, I know you, but and they trust someone's therapy, it's different. But I think it would be interesting to hear from someone like you that has had the
Yeah.
training. What would be the signs of, okay, this is safe for me to do it with this person?
This is it. This is it. I mean, that's a really, really important question. I myself, as a patient before, as a person who was looking
Hmm.
for therapy, who needed help, I had no idea either of who to approach and who I could trust because I sensed that going towards tarot was not the answer. I
Hmm.
sensed that pendulum work would shifted some things and helped out, but there was something more I needed done. I sensed that I had to try the structural technique. I tried it and I noticed the changes then. I said, actually, during the session, I felt a huge white light coming into my body.
Hmm.
And I felt this is connected with the absolute purity and love and divine. I mean, there's nothing purer than this. And then something inside me said, this is working. This is right. Yeah. And this worked. And it has for everyone who's used the therapy. So if any therapist has a técnica estructural, is due,
Hmm.
técnica estructural,
Hmm.
you can look at the web page. They are using the same protocol as I'm using.
Hmm.
Now, there are therapists like myself, where I have this training over 10 years. I've done it an awful lot. So I have an awful lot of practice and training. I do say that those who've practiced and trained a lot can read the energies fast, can detect them, can sense them. Any person, who has a bit more of a sixth sense is also more sensitive to reading what's coming through.
Hmm.
Because I have been on training courses and I train people as well in this therapy with another therapist. People who haven't much practice in it, but are therapists, but haven't much practice or much experience or much of the sixth sense,
Hmm.
they're not reading all the energies. Okay. It requires hard work. As using it first, I really wasn't feeling I was getting all the information and connection. I mean, I sensed there was more. Now I wasn't, getting the full information, and everything kept coming to me. Keep practicing. You must keep the communication up with your guides. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Stay doing the work. So as I let go of my own kind of saying that frustration,
Mm,
I said, right, I'm going to trust. I trust in divine. Then all the messages started coming in.
mm,
I was like, oh my God. So shut up, mind, shut up. Just listen from above. And it just kept coming true. And then I was healing people in half an hour.
mm,
And that was amazing. So if you have anyone who has a Técnica Estructural title, they're using the same protocol. Now, I
mhm,
don't know who has as much experience as who. You have to follow your own intuition. If you don't know, you know who I am. So you know where I am, and I can recommend as well. If I've got too much work, I can recommend you on
mm,
to others who I do know who are doing it a lot as well. Now, the added bonus with me though, and there's one or two more, and there are more of them coming on, is that I also specialize in the constellation world, because I saw that beyond the technique, the structural
mm,
technique, that is invisible. You can't see a thing. There were some things that I wanted to say. And so family constellation work is great because I'm getting in I actually don't have them here right now, but I have a whole load of dolls and figures and cards that we use. And we put the energy of that person into that object to heal. Forbidden any other work. This is only healing work. Okay. The work of God. So we're healing people through this technique. And I constantly have to do energy cleaning and protection as well, and the whole thing, because you could have some really bad energy. We could be talking about someone who's done a lot of wrong. There's a lot of hurt. There could be really bad energies. Okay. So as therapists, we know what to do to protect ourselves and so on. So when you not only just do the structural technique, but also have the constellation world, dominated, because I went to the best academy here in Barcelona, which has the most students in the whole of Spain. I think it's probably one of the best academies in the
mm.
world of constellations. Christina, she's on every day on Instagram, every week, healing people. She hasn't stopped. She's connected, you see, with the Akashic records and the soul readings. A lot of other constellators who just do the family system are not getting all the information on that person. Okay. And I can't go to be healed. Well, I can heal myself, obviously, now, because unless I would only go to Christina, my own teacher,
Mm,
actually, for the
mm,
healing, or someone I know who dominates the world of the Akashics, because so much comes from her past life. So a regular constellator is fine for just family healing systems, but you might have something beyond that, which is, I'm sure you have, because I know that
mm.
everyone has. So I had to go towards the Akashic constellation. So I went to a special academy. I
Yeah,
didn't go to the original Bert Hellinger Academy. I went to her one, which is Bert Hellinger plus the Akashic, just to go to the full story. I needed the full story. I needed everything. I needed all the answers.
yeah.
I wanted all the answers.
You have created your integrative way of working with people. Now, I think that's really
Yeah.
important. No, sometimes
Yeah.
something gives you not certain really powerful
Hmm.
information and
Yeah.
healing, but then
Hmm.
sometimes something, something else is missing, or that it just complements each other. But what I get from how
Yeah.
people can feel safe, one is, you said, like, one is listening to your intuition, but it's hard if you're not there in the experience yet. Even though we see a name like this can happen anywhere, but I'm saying, like,
Okay.
if we're
That's a good
saying
point.
this, I think this is important also. No, like,
Yeah.
ask if you if I'm here to also, like, give people the tools, because when you speak about it, for me it makes a lot of sense. But for many people who haven't been
No.
in this, they would be like, okay, it all sounds amazing, but what does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I like to
Yeah.
ground this stuff. So you can
Yes.
ask for, no, how they have prepared themselves, the studies they have. Today you mentioned, no, a lot
Exactly.
of think of
Very
work
important.
that, no, that gives that
Mm.
security to you, on to others, that there's this history, that there's all these situations and people that you have healed in the past, and that comes from these other people who have done the studies.
With a therapist, everyone. I need attendance as well.
But to connect with that energy beyond, because I think it's very, as humans, and we know the world that we live in, we get stuck in what we can feel in our body and just the symptoms that are on the surface of things.
Oh, yes, yes.
So,
The
yeah,
repetitive
I want us to
patterns.
just, we can close our eyes for a few seconds and, yeah, like just take a couple of deep breaths and to just feel each one of us, and of course, everyone who's listening to us today, to just reflect on what energy are we feeling around us, and maybe we can share it. So let's just take a moment to try to feel and connect with that energy. Good. Ready to be voice. Would you like to start sharing? What do you recognize this energy around you today?
Of myself,
Yeah.
Claudia. Thank you so much. Yes, the pause, we all need that. I think that's an excellent exercise. Um, you should do that many times a day. When you get to my stage, um, it's also necessary. However, I live in that peace and harmony now. It took me a long time to get there, but I worked so hard myself, in my own journey, that now I'm just connected with the white light, the serenity of God, and I've got a lot of support around me. I'm surrounded by ancestors who help me, my guides, archangels. I work with them every day, and guided by the great man of self above, the creator of the world and of us and beyond. It is, you don't have to call him God, you can call him the universal energy. It is the breath of life. It is who we are, what we are, what everything is. And I'm at service. I am here to help this world, people, to do good, to move humanity beyond the stress, the negative emotions, the hurt, the violence, the beautiful word, revenge, the so to go beyond all that, to heal what we need healed, and to have that general respect, right, for every living thing, not just humans, as I have a important man in my life as well, who is a great protector of animals. And he woke me up that, I know it's about plants and animals as well, of course. There's a lot of healing to do with humans, right? But our respect towards plants and animals and every life form should be up there. And so that's what we should be educating at schools. And we're not. Um, I think it starts with going back to basics. We have to
Mm.
go back to basics. We've gotten lost with all the materialism of this world, with all the superficiality, all the glitter. We love glitter. Who doesn't? I mean, okay. Going on holidays, going out for a cocktail, getting drunk, we all like a bit of everything, right? But I think we have to come back down to the true human values of goodness, kindness, respect for all, love, peace and harmony, and get connected with those. They are the highest vibe emotions and energies of the world so that we're all going to be all right.
I think a lot of
We
people
all
bring
deserve to be all right, not just one person. We
yeah,
all deserve,
a
it's,
collective. Mm.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for giving us a time.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure.
From my side, yeah, I agree. But for me right now, I feel my body sometimes is not in the same energy that
Mm,
the energy that I'm feeling
I
around
know.
me.
I know, Claudia. I
It's
know.
so expansive. Well, the energy that I'm feeling is so
But I
grown.
send you love and light. I send you love and light. And I know if you make the right steps, you will get there too.
But just feeling what there's around us and sometimes seeing connecting with that energy allows us to this it's a connection disconnection because you're connecting. You
Mhm.
need to disconnect
Yes.
sometimes from your body to feel like, "Oh, what's around me?" And not from
Yeah.
only
I,
someone to tell you, but for you to feel what is there? What are the signs? What am I feeling? And you don't even need to put words. You just need to recognize it in whichever
Many
way
of us feel
it
lost.
comes.
I mean, many of us feel lost. We babble on, we talk on, we use anything to keep ourselves happy. That's, you got to go through your own healing process first. We all got to do, but you got to find the right person to do it with. Okay. Um, it's just, it's a few energetic shifts. That's all you need. One session can make a huge difference. Okay.
Thank you so much,
And
Genevieve.
yes,
It was such a beautiful
and it
conversation.
is.
And
It's
if,
great to be able to help people.
yeah,
You know, I took a lot of believing myself and hard work, but I could see that the changes were happening for me. And I'm ever so grateful. And to be here with you, Claudia, it's absolutely amazing. I remember, the constellation you did as
yeah,
well. It was so beautiful. I mean, at Heavy Massage, I do the group workshops every month.
yeah,
And there's
they
a
can,
retreat
let's guide,
in
like,
August as well.
if
Mm,
Genevieve's work resonated with you, you can find her profile in Somos Terapia. We will leave all her details of her
yeah,
courses and her website and the information, and you can get in touch with her. You can send some questions if you have around this topic. She'll happily
exactly.
answer or book a session with her. And you can also follow us in Somos Terapia to discover more therapies and different
Exactly.
integrative approaches to emotional well-being because there's many, many ways of how we can
Yes,
get
there are
there.
many people go at different paces, at different rhythms. All is respected, and anyone who's helping others is amazing.
Exactly. So thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye. Have a lovely day. Good luck.
You don't need to wait. I'm just going to stop it.